Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your old pal that came in 1971, back to his old geeky ways with his first comic book haul of 2023. Yes, it's been a minute. It's been about 2.5 months since my last comic book haul, and while I have been collecting less, I'm still in the game collecting the stuff that I love. This haul will feature some, usual mix of modern, copper, bronze, silver, some first appearances, some classic covers, and some awesome historical first meetings and team-ups, which I'm definitely into as a comic book geek. So, kicking it off, we have Spider-Man, the official movie adaptation, done by the Dream Team extraordinaire of Stan the Man Lee and Alan Davis. So, wow. If I would have known this was the creative team on this book, I would have owned this book years ago. So, does anyone know, actually, if this was the last time that Stan Lee scripted a Spider-Man comic? It would definitely make it more noteworthy, if so. And it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, because anytime you put Stan Lee on a Spider-Man comic, it instantly becomes a must-buy, in my humble opinion. So, Spider-Man, the official movie adaptation, very happy to pick it up. The Amazing Spider-Man Annual, number 38. First appearance of yet another alternate reality Spider-Man that absorbs the powers of other Spider-Men. So, why the heck not? Cheap, out in the wild, ASM. Those three don't usually go together in the same sentence, for me anyway. Kind of like the Amazing Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movie adaptation, we have Angela number 1, which is another book that I was kind of surprised that I didn't have in my collection already. Picked this one out, once again, out in the wild, cheap, but this features the second appearance of Angela. Overall, this is the first time that Angela headlined her own title, and along the lines of the Spider-Man adaptation, the creative team is just A-list. Neil Gaiman and Greg Capullo. So, very happy to finally pick this up. Also, at the same store, they had Angela. Now, this was the Angela incentive issue, which I guess they sent to retailers to promote the Angela miniseries. So, I've actually never seen this before, so really happy to pick it up. And I've never actually seen this at all. So, cool. Next, several books are all doubles. Starting last year, I started selling on eBay, and hey, it's pretty cool. So the economy is bad right now, so I figure if I can pick up books out there on the cheap and sell them online for, cheap, affordable keys in this economy, why not, right? So Superior Iron Man, number 1. Rogue, number 1, first time that she headlined her own comic. Some classic Jim Lee covers that I always pick up if I can find them out there in the cheap. X-Men number 11, as well as Conan the Barbarian number 242. Some classic 80s mutants goodness. Excalibur number 1, once again, the great Alan Davis artwork. Books of Magic number 1, once again, the great Neil Gaiman on story. Tales to Astonish, featuring the Submariner, and this reprints Submariner number 1 from the 1960s volume, and out of the MCU Phase 4, now, which is finally over, thankfully. While a lot of that was more of a miss than a hit for me, I was really happy with the introductions of both the characters of Submariner and Yelena Belova. I thought both of those characters, as well as Kang, those three characters were great additions to the MCU. Hopefully they can right the ship in Phase 5. Incredible Hulk, number 213, which, I don't know. I can't go wrong having another copy of the first appearance of Jack of Hearts in comics. And then lastly, Steel, number 1. We'll get some mean glare off that bag, but nice high-grade copy, and I can't pass up a Bronze Age first appearance on the cheap. All right. Move those out of the way. Onto some books that will definitely all be staying in the PC. One of my favorite grabs from out in the wild over the past couple of months, Superman number 261, and I have always wanted this classic Nick Cardy Star Sapphire Superman cover. Beautiful. Justice League of America number 82, another one of those JLA, JSA team-ups that I love to collect, and this is also coined as the first appearance of the Golden Age Batman since the Golden Age, which I kind of actually dispute. He only actually appears in one panel in this comic, sitting at the JSA boardroom table, and I think that was a flashback. And also, I want to say that there's an issue of Brave and Bold that was illustrated by Neil Adams that teams up the Golden Age Batman with Sergeant Rock in the late Silver Age that predates this. But still a cool book to have, in my opinion. Another one of my favorite series to collect, Star Wars, from Volume 1. So here's Star Wars number 18, which I picked up out in the wild, and number 20, which I had to pick up online. So I thought I had a run of Star Wars Volume 1 from 1 through 21, but I was when I went to go file the other books away, I noticed I was missing these two, so I had to pick them up. Also, while out in the wild, I ended up finding this. Oh, what a goofy cover. Star Wars number 105, and these last issues of Star Wars are so hard to come by in high grade and super cheap, so picked it up. Also, while I've been really cutting back on the variants, I had to pick this up. Star Wars The Force Awakens, number 1, Neil Adams Kylo Ren variant. I don't know how this one slipped by me the first time around, but I am definitely happy to add this into the collection. First appearance of Kylo Ren in comics, and, you know, some other characters too, but first appearance of Kylo Ren, and illustrated by Neil Adams. It's like a comic made specifically for me. All right, on to my current addiction. Here we have Conan, the Frazetta cover series, number 1, which, all right, for context, big Conan fan, as anyone that's watched more than one of my videos would know, and I have a holy trinity of Conan artists, Barry Windsor-Smith, Big John Buscema, and of course, Frank Frazetta. But I didn't own any Frank Frazetta Conan artwork in a comic book form, so discovered this. Well, I already kind of knew about this back in the day when I was already collecting Conan from Dark Horse, but these are reprints from the classic Kurt Busiek, Cary Nord run on the Conan series from Dark Horse, which is, in my opinion, the golden age of modern age Conan comics. So I passed up on these initially, and I wish I hadn't. So strictly bought just for the covers. But if you're going to do a cover buy, strictly for the cover, you can't go wrong with Frank Frazetta artwork, right? So here we have Conan, the Frank Frazetta series, number 1, number 2, number 3, and my favorite out of them all, and easily one of my, well, definitely one of my top 3 favorite Conan covers of all time, number 8, which, look at that. That is just sick. Sick. It's like straight up death metal. Awesome. And I hate death metal, but oh, that is sick. Love that cover. For some reason, these books are not cheap online either. I mean, the first couple of issues aren't super expensive, but once you get towards the tail end of the series, there's only 8 issues. They tend to get pretty pricey. I don't know if they sell for that much, but they're definitely, I mean, just check it out on eBay, especially this one. I paid $24 for this book, but really happy to pick it up in high grade like this. Why not? All right, from Conan to Star Wars to another one of the pillars of my collection, Batman, or in this case, the Batman family. So, some sweet Batman family history here. We have the Joker, number 8, which allegedly features the first meeting between the Scarecrow and the Joker. What? So, awesome. Probably a VF Plus copy. Paid under $20 for it, so not a bad deal. Also along that vein of thought, Batman Family, number 17. This is a book that was a wall book at one of my LCSs, and I just wanted it for this awesome Mike Kaluta cover. But then my the LCS owner gave me the 411 on this, and this happens to feature the first team-up between Catwoman and Poison Ivy. Even though the story is very hokey, and you have Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, teaming up with the Huntress, and it's like, I think it's back in the day where the writers were kind of confused on who's on Earth 1 and who's on Earth 2. I'm not sure. Nevertheless, first team up between Catwoman and Poison Ivy, I think historically very important as a Batman fan, and once again, awesome Mike Kaluta cover. And we have Detective Comics number 369, which features, I believe, the 3rd overall appearance of the Barbara Gordon Batgirl, which is awesome enough on its own, and it features the first team-up between Batgirl and Robin. And considering their long-running history together, which is still ongoing as we speak, I think that's just awesome. Another book that I didn't really know about, but very happy to pick it up. And this will segue into the last couple of books, which are all Silver Age. And I have been trying to concentrate a little bit more on the Silver Age this year. It's one of my main focuses. So kicking it off, we have Showcase, number 73. Definitely an overlooked series in general as far as the Silver Age goes. And this features the first appearance of the Creeper by Steve Ditko, who, while I'm not a big fan of the Creeper, I am a big fan of Silver Age Steve Ditko. So great to pick it up. And as we all know, DC Silver Age tends to go for a considerable amount less than Marvel Silver Age overall. And especially before the James Gunn announcement, a lot of the DC books in general were just kind of like decreased in value. And I was having a field day. But all of that has changed as of now after, James Gunn, had that big data dump a couple of weeks ago. So looking forward to the upcoming slate. And I'm real as a DC fan. It's nice to see DC getting a little shine for once. So very cool. We'll see how it goes. Here we have Showcase Presents number 80, which is the first appearance of the Phantom Stranger in the Silver Age, which was a new one on me. I always thought Phantom Stranger was a Silver Age character, but I guess he's been around since as early as the early 1950s. So very happy to pick this up. Another Showcase classic, and I believe this was also illustrated by Neil Adams. A little more classic stuff here. Tales of Suspense, number 97, featuring the first appearance of Whiplash. And while this character has already appeared and died in the MCU, who cares? This is the first appearance of a major Iron Man villain, Stan Lee, Gene Colan awesomeness, and you can't go wrong when you have the backup story by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby featuring Captain America. Just saying. And lastly, we started this haul off with Spidey, and we will be ending it with Spidey. Amazing Spider-Man, number 57, Fine Plus copy, and this features the first meeting between Kazar and Spidey, Spider-Man, as well as Zabu. Can't discount Zabu. So, awesome stuff. Just classic. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm into. That's what I've been collecting. More of the same moving forward. Less, but I think good content. So that's all I have for this month. Thank you all for watching, liking, and subscribing. My next video will be part 3 of what's in the spec box, the good, the bad, and definitely the funny. And I'll be back in a couple of more months with another comic book haul too. That seems how it goes now. So until next time, take care, enjoy your weekend. See ya!